Guys, happy coffee talk. Good morning. Coffee this morning is that Valhalla coffee, and it's in my raccoon mug. That I love this mug. So before we get in the coffee talk message, reminder: you can still jump in on the 7-day reset, or not the 7-day reset. It used to be a 7-day reset. Did you know that? And then I made it the entire month of January. But the reset's going on all month in the Facebook group, and you can join completely for free to be a part of it. I'm going to put the link in the show notes and the link in the comments if you would like to join us. I think we have 170 people doing it, so it's really fun, lots of momentum. Yesterday, I taught a lesson on sugar. There's all sorts of things that you can use to sort of get yourself back on track after the holidays. So jump into the reset. I'm going to put, again, link in the bio, link in the show notes, link in the comments, I guess. Yeah, I think. So let's dive right into the coffee talk message for today, because I did a consult this week and I thought it was really interesting because I've told you guys before, but I like to remind you, when I do a consult, really it's not me doing a lot of talking, to be honest. It's me asking a lot of questions. I really want to understand the person who I'm talking to and what they're looking for, how they got to where they are, what their goals are. I want to understand what their obstacles are, what the circumstances are in their life, what it would mean to them to achieve the goal. I want to really understand the person. So it's me asking a lot of questions, to be honest, and just listening and asking follow-up questions. And then at the end of it, if it makes sense, I obviously tell them how Fit Me can help them with those goals. But if we're not a good fit, I actually just refer them out to someone else. Or if I think that they need to do something different, I tell them that. It's not a like, I'm going to sell you call. It's a consult. I want to understand what you're looking for and what you need, and I'm going to point you in the right direction. And I referred somebody out last week because I would love to work with her, but she wasn't exactly what we do in Fit Me. It wasn't a perfect fit, and I wanted to make sure she got what she needed. So I referred her out. But this week I did a consult, and this person ended up joining Fit Me because I knew we could help her, and I told her that, and I said, I know I can get you to where you want to be. And so it was interesting though when we were talking, because it's funny how weight gain happens for most people. There's a lot of, sometimes there's life circumstances, sometimes there's big events, but normally that's not the case. Typically things happen sort of in a cascade. Maybe there's like one thing that creates a trigger, a lifestyle shift. So for a lot of people, that was actually 2020. The shift from maybe working in the office to working at home. Maybe it was, you were a teacher, you were in there, and now you're like doing virtual classes. There was a big shift. Or maybe you were out working, but it was just a different environment. So many people, it was 2020. A lot of people, it was a different season, but there tends to be like a moment of lifestyle shift. It isn't like, oh, one day I just wake up and I gain 40 pounds. What happens is that something shifts, and maybe you used to work on your feet and now you sit. Well, that's a small shift, right? It's not a huge thing. You're not going to notice it at first. You're not going to notice that you used to stand all the time and now you sit, and then all of a sudden you gain weight. It doesn't work like that. Maybe you used to eat a certain thing for lunch, and now you've kind of gotten like, meh, I'm not too worried about it. I'll just grab this other thing. You're not going to gain 20 pounds overnight. You're not going to do that. You used to drink sometimes, and now you have a glass of wine before bed. It's not a big deal. So it's not something you're going to notice right away. You're going to say, man, it seems fine. You used to sleep 8 hours a night, but now we sleep like 6.5 because you stay up looking at Netflix or Hulu or whatever, or TikTok. And so it wasn't a huge shift. You didn't really notice at first. You're not even like that tired the next day. Maybe you used to not really drink that much sugar drinks, but now it's kind of like you had it come back in, and then it's just kind of stayed. It's not that big of a deal, but it's there. It didn't used to be. So there's little things that shift, and there's no change at first. You don't see any change from now. You're sitting, you're sleeping less, you're drinking less water, you're having a little bit more sugar. Maybe it's just one or two of those things that I listed. You don't see the change at first. It takes time, but those are the things that you ultimately repeat every day, right? It's like the things that you do for work, what you eat for breakfast, like how you move through your day, what you drink for your coffee, how you sleep at night, how you move around, like if you have to get up and do stuff, or if you just get to sit at your if you're taking care of kids, maybe you had a baby and you used to stand and run around all the time, and now you're just sitting because you're holding the baby. Like, there's a whole bunch of different things that could happen that cause a shift. And again, you might not notice it when it first happens, any changes, because it's just a gradual shift. You're like, oh, it's not a big deal. And it's not in one day. The thing is that it's the things I just listed. Most of those things are things we repeat. We repeat those daily things over and over and over again. And because of that, they do matter. And so you fast forward 6 months and all of a sudden you're up 10 pounds. And you're like, how did that even happen? I must be getting older. My hormones must not be working as well. My metabolism must be off. You fast forward another 6 months. You're up 15 pounds, 20 pounds. Like, how did this even happen? Like, it seems like it's come on so slow. Like, I just, one day my pants just didn't fit very well anymore. Like, how did that happen? Guess I need to quit drinking. So you pick one of those things, but you forget that something fundamentally shifted that you repeat every single day. And so maybe more than one thing. And so now, slowly over time, you gain weight. Slowly over time, you get less strong. Slowly over time, you get less recovered because you're not sleeping as much. Slowly over time, you change into a different person than you were when you started, and you hardly even notice it when it's happening. That is how weight gain happens for most people. Sometimes there's a moment, you get a new job, right? COVID happens and everybody gets sent home. You have a sickness in the family and it throws you off for 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden life shifts. But sometimes it can start with that, but then it tends to be very subtle change that adds up over time, that ultimately impacts your body significantly. And so maybe that feels like a Debbie Downer story. Wah, 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 wah. Right? Bummer. That's how easy it is. That's how easy it is to gain weight. Not even realize it. You didn't have to overdo it on ice cream every day, or, go to fast food all day long and eat thousands of calories of Big Mac. It's just as simple as a couple of things that you repeat every day, changing in the wrong direction, and you gain weight. But happy news, guys, happy news. The whole reason I'm telling you this, sorry, I'm in a weird mood today. Happy news, it goes the other way. It's just that easy to lose weight. Sometimes we need a big shift moment, right? You have that moment, you look in the mirror, you're like, ugh, done. I need to make a change. I do not feel good. I do not feel like my best self. I'm making that shift. You can have the big moment. You may have the health event where you go to the doctor and they're like, hey, blood work's not looking good. You're not eating well. You're not exercising. You got to make some changes. And you're like, ooh, I'm having that moment, that big shift moment. But then what happens after that? It's not the big giant salad that you eat one day. That does not matter. Just like it doesn't matter if you ate a gigantic bowl of ice cream one day. It wouldn't have made you gain 25 pounds. Neither will the big giant bowl of salad that you have one day that you're committed to having, and you don't even like salad. That's not how it works. How it works is if you start to make fundamental shifts to the things that you do every single day. So ultimately, this is what we specialize in Fit Me. We help you change those repeat things, the things that really matter and add up. How much are you moving in your day? Did you used to walk 5,000 steps and now we can get you up to 7? You just made that tiny shift in the right direction. You used to have 7 pieces of candy and now you have 3. You just made a tiny shift in the right direction. You used to eat out all the time and now you eat at home half the time. You just made a shift in the right direction. You used to do weightlifting never, and now you lift weights 2 times a week. You just made a shift. Who cares about the big giant bowl of salad? It's the things that you do every single day that add up. And so it's just that easy though. But the thing is here's what happens. It also is just potentially that gradual. You could do this for a couple weeks in a row and not see any changes at all. And be like, this is not working. Christy is full of SHIT. But I'm not, because if you keep doing it, you will start to change. Your body is this incredible thing that can adapt and it will start to change over time. And so if you consistently start walking, your body will adapt to walking. If you consistently start to eat protein at your meals, your body is going to start utilizing that protein at your meals and help you build muscle and have a better body composition, aka look more toned and your clothes fit better. If you start doing those things every single day, if instead of having, again, like the 3 pumps, you have 1.5, that adds up over time. Instead of having 5 sodas, maybe you have 2, and it starts to add up over time. Instead of 7 drinks a week, maybe you have 3. All of those shifts are not all or nothing shifts. They're just fundamental moves in the right direction, but strategically chosen based off of the things that you repeat. Because it's the things that you repeat over and over and over again that really matter. So it does not matter if you have a giant bowl of ice cream one day. Who cares? You can have a Big Mac, fries, giant bowl of ice cream, Wendy's Frosty, plus some French fries. You're going to feel sick. Plus some Papa John's pizza. I listed all the stuff that I used to eat growing up. All that together, one day, does not matter other than making you feel like trash because you ate too much. But if you do it every day, and not just do that, but if you used to eat breakfast, now you skip breakfast and get a sugar coffee instead, that sounds way less dramatic than the mountain of fast food I just listed. The problem is you eat or don't eat every single day. And so when you start to repeat that behavior over and over again, well, it's going to change your body. So I hope that this podcast episode is empowering, because we think we have to make these big, giant, earth-shattering gestures or shifts, but we don't. What we have to do is look at what we're doing every day. I'm telling you, the fundamental shifts that I made to lose 40 pounds were a lot less crazy around, let me track I did not weigh and measure my food. I did not track all my food. I did not do that. What I did was I stopped drinking sugar. That was number one. You want to know how I lose 40 pounds? I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it. I stopped drinking sugar. I was drinking sugar a lot. I was drinking sugar in the form of alcohol, sugary coffee, like buckets of coffee creamer in my sweet creamer in my coffee, and I drank that all day long. I would drink alcohol, and sometimes I would even have soda. I was drinking my sugar, and I stopped. I replaced it with water and black coffee. Doesn't mean I never have anything. No, of course, sometimes I have something. But on a daily basis, I replaced it. I used to get fast food all the time. I would go to Dunkin' Donuts. I would get, again, a vanilla latte sugar thing, and I would get a Boston cream donut, and sometimes I would get a sandwich to go with it. And I would do that all the time. I would go to Zaxby's for lunch. Maybe I would get a salad and 17 pieces of Texas toast and a soda and a giant chocolate chip cookie. When I had the kids with me, we would go to Chick-fil-A. I would get the chicken sandwich. I would get the waffle fries. I would get the shake, whatever. That is how I ate most days. And then I shifted. And what did I do? Did I eat perfect? No, I didn't know how to eat perfect. I just started eating at home. I started eating yogurt for breakfast with berries on it, or oatmeal with, a couple of nuts and some honey. I would just make some chicken. I would make buffalo chicken sandwich for lunch at home. I would make, salmon or steak for dinner and vegetables. I didn't know what I was doing. All I knew is I was like, I'm not going to eat fast food every day, and instead I'm going to eat food that I make at home. I'm going to try to make it as real food as possible. Wasn't perfect, not even close, but I made a fundamental shift. I used to be pretty sedentary. I would sit around with my kids all day and I would watch TV. I would like to watch that HGTV shows. I would watch all those things. And then what I did instead is I started walking. It was a fundamental shift. I started walking 3 times a week, and I just started doing that instead. Instead of sitting at home and watching daytime TV, I would go walking. It became a part of my weekly routine. And then the very last thing that I did is I hired a coach. And that coach was my trainer. He helped me lift heavy. He invited me to classes. He plugged me in with other people. He talked to me about food. He encouraged me to eat more. It was just that simple. I limited myself to 1 treat meal, not cheat, treat meal per week. And I would go out to dinner and I would have wings and beer and whatever. It didn't matter. I had 1 treat a week, and otherwise I just tried not to eat out. That was it. That's how I lost 40 pounds. I changed what I did every single day and every single week. It wasn't some crazy thing. It was just shift. And I didn't do them all at once. I just started doing them. I started with the sugar. Then I went to the fast food. Then I went to the walking. Then I went to the strength training. it was like that. It's exactly how it went. So hopefully this episode is helpful for you. These are the things that you absolutely 100% can do. You can make these small shifts that add up over time. And if you need help with it, that's what I do. And so all you need to do is fill out the application. I'm going to put the link in the comments again and the link in the show notes. Fill that out and let's do a consult. I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. I'm going to find out about you and then I'm going to point you in the right direction. If it's with FitMe, awesome. If it's not, I'm going to point you in the right direction, refer you to what I think will help you best. If you need to do it on your own, I'm going to give you your next steps. I'm going to be like, here's what I would do if I were you. But don't book that call unless you're actually wanting to do something. That's the key. I need you to want to do something. So thanks for plugging into Coffee Talk. If you haven't done so, subscribe to Fit Me Coffee Talk on your favorite podcast platform. If you are not a part of our Facebook group, all of the action for the Fit Me Reset is happening in there. We're going to be doing free programs, games, and challenges all year long in the Fit Me Facebook group. So if you want to start making changes, you want support community, you want to do it for free, that's the place for you. So come join us over there and I will see you there. Take care. Bye.